curious, observant. Ever wonder why some interactions leave you physically drained? It's almost as if a quiet extraction is taking place, pulling the very air out of your lungs. To understand where that energy goes, we have to look at the grid, an invisible layer over our reality, where every movement is tracked on a scoreboard. In this arena, your internal vitality is the only currency that matters. This vitality is condensed into virtue tokens. They represent your internal fire, the finite reservoir you use to power your own life. Scattered across the field are holographic strangers trapped in boxes of lethargy and chaos. To free them, you have to reach into your pouch and physically give away a piece of yourself. Every single token spent is a withdrawal. The more you try to save others, the faster your own defenses begin to fail. Abby starts with a sprint. She's broadcasting live, tossing tokens to anyone in her path. She isn't looking at the people she's bailing out, she's looking at her follower count. The digital crowd in the stands rewards her with a rush of validation. Every time she empties her pockets, her social capital hits a new high. But the cost is visible. As she throws her tokens, her skin turns a sallow gray. She is physically fading, her internal reservoir hitting empty just to keep the stream going. Within minutes, the people she saved have already slumped back into their boxes, covered in the same gray slime as before. They are waiting for the next handout, because nothing about their situation actually changed. When you give without boundaries, you don't actually solve the problem. You just burn through your own life force to provide a temporary delay. Evelyn takes a different path. She ignores the crowd's demands for immediate action and focuses on what she calls the sacred labor. She checks the ledger floating above each station. She bypasses those who refuse to learn a trade or change their habits, looking instead for the one person ready to move. She finds a young man trapped by grief, but possessing high-frequency skills. When she places a token in his hand, his cage doesn't just break, it shatters and dissolves into light. This man doesn't wait for another token. He takes the spark Evelyn gave him and starts showing others how to ignite their own fire. He becomes a teacher. This chart shows the result. While Abby's individual saves blink out and return to gray, Evelyn's single investment creates a multiplier. One person becomes 10, then 50. By choosing where to invest her fire, Evelyn builds a self-sustaining network. She achieves more by doing less, while keeping her own reservoir intact. Even though Evelyn's network has the higher score, the game changes when Sir Pent steps onto the podium. He isn't interested in the math of the scoreboard. Sir Pent uses a clever inversion. He calls Evelyn's selectivity gatekeeping. He argues that Abby is the true winner because she gave everything away without judging whether the recipient was ready to change. The crowd agrees. They prefer Abby's exhaustion because it feels more inclusive. They celebrate her depletion as the ultimate standard of generosity, even as she lies collapsed on the field. The scoreboard flips. It rewards the act of emptying oneself, regardless of whether that sacrifice actually fixed anything. The stadium lights fade, and Abby finds herself in a cold, translucent space. She has no fire left to protect her. This is when the afterlife salesman appears. He offers her a contract, a digital heaven, where she'll never have to worry about worthiness again. All she has to do is sign away her remaining sovereignty. When you spend your life force to appease the crowd, you're left with nothing to negotiate with when the real collectors arrive. Evelyn and Evans stand at the edge of the field. They didn't win the crowd's favor, but they still have their fire. While the city lights flicker, their chests radiate a steady white light. They aren't depleted, they are grounded and ready for the next event. In a world that rewards burnout, the only way to survive is to guard your energy. You cannot save everyone, but you can choose to empower those who will help you build a different kind of world.